Hello, friends, and welcome back to the 12th Horseshoe podcast on Surge Sports TV. Happy Friday, everyone. Jack Riz alongside Eli Weintraub. Week 15 of the NFL season has already begun, and we now have our third coaching casualty of the season. Josh McDaniels, Frank Reich, and now Brandon Staley fired from the Los Angeles Chargers. And after being shut out 4 days before the game last night, the Raiders somehow put up 63 points, the second most points scored by a team the week after they got shut out. Eli, how are you doing today? And what do you think of this breaking news about not only Brandon Staley being fired, but GM Tom Telesco and
And plus the whole defensive coordinator stuff.
yeah.
Well,
And
let me first start
wait,
off
hang
with
on. I do mention that GIF or GIF. I don't know how to say it. Or maybe I think it's GIF Smith will be the interim coach of the Chargers. Their outside linebackers
Okay.
coach.
Sounds good to hear. Well, first off, I'm doing great. Happy to be here again. Also, shout out to Luke Ashion. 1,000 points last night. Had 0 in the first half. Came up with 16 in the second. Ending the night at 1,003 points. Just beginning in the start of an amazing season. So congratulations to him. Number one, right off the bat. And we'll be live for the girls' game tomorrow at
10
10
o'clock.
a.m. 10 o'clock. And the boys are in Glen Rock at 1. But I don't think we'll have coverage of that one. So
No.
check out Glen Rock. So yeah. Anyways, that's that. So congrats to Luke Ashion. In regards to all this stuff, the funny coincidence is that the Raiders also fired their coach first. And then they just said, okay, well, let's just win 63-21 against the Chargers after a great game. And then let's have them get fired. And so everybody got fired last night. The GM got fired. The head coach got fired. All the defensive coordinator stuff got fired. And an interesting time because it's right before the Christmas holidays. And it's an interesting situation here, I say, because you now have 4 games left. I know everyone's bound to be fired. I get the whole situation. But do you think it might have been too early? Because if you think about it, we know that the Chargers are not making the playoffs. They know that from day one already. They have 4 games left of the season. They should just leave it alone. But either way, it is what it is. So, interesting situation there. Glad that the changes have happened. The Chargers have, by the way, the Bills on an exclusive Peacock game next week. So we will not be able to see them on television unless you have Peacock. So, by the way, that's just your update FYI. And the Raiders have Christmas Day on CBS and Nickelodeon at 4:30 p.m. in Kansas City versus the Chiefs. So just something to just keep in mind about of the upcoming schedule for both these teams. They do have a rough schedule ahead, especially the Chargers, but we do not know what will happen with the Chargers unless you have Peacock because that's an exclusive game next week. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Crazy situation. I think right decision made, but just not at the right time though.
I disagree with you saying that it's too early to fire Brandon Staley. I think it's too late to fire him. He should have been fired after blowing a 27-0 lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC wildcard game last year. And I mean, Brandon Staley could have gotten fired back in like week 6, honestly, if we're being honest. And if he would have gotten fired earlier, maybe the Chargers would have made a playoff run. Now, I mean, you don't really have much to do these last weeks, but it's good to just get him out now and clean house and get ready for
it. Gets him out, but the thing is, it's too late. That's how I view it as. If you've wanted to fire him,
too late.
You should have done it earlier. You should have done it earlier because now it's like you're right before Christmas. You know you're not making the playoffs. You already have 2 teams of the Panthers and the Patriots already eliminated. You're the next in line, other than the Cardinals, to get eliminated. And I think it's a little too late. Just stick it out the rest of the season. And
Eli, here's the thing though. The Chargers also fired. Wait, hang on. The Chargers also fired their general manager. You know, the one who put this head coach into position. So, and it's not too late to fire a general manager. So they just wanted to clean out everyone. And I don't care that it's week 15. They figured that the best decision was right now before the situation got worse.
No.
It's clear that Brandon Staley lost the locker room. And that you cannot wait till after the season. That has to be addressed right now. So the Chargers made the right call in firing Brandon Staley. But other than that, though, a great win for the Raiders in front of their fans. 63-21 win. We both got the pick right. I actually, for some reason, my final score was 6-3. I can't believe I said that.
13-10. So,
but hey, 6-3. If you put those 2 numbers together, then you have the number that the Raiders got last night. So,
all right. Well, this is what my let's get some quick notes. I'm gonna get some quick notes in before we get to the game stuff. Last night was the first time where it
You were
was an all
frozen,
black.
Eli.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, you were.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Sorry, guys. Happens a lot. Last night was the first all black team officiating, including the replay officials and on field officials. So, congratulations to the NFL. First historic crew. And finally, Texans QB CJ Stroud is doubtful, and Nico Collins is questionable for this Sunday's game. Ravens, Cowboys, and Lions and Eagles could all clinch a playoff spot potentially this weekend, and the 49ers can clinch the NFC West title with a win or a Rams loss or tie. And agree, boys. You can't wait have to clean out a game after a game last night. Great call on the SM boys game last night. And let's go Broncos tomorrow, baby.
Go Colts tomorrow. The Colts are also playing tomorrow.
That's, all right. Let's move right along. Go ahead.
Actually, all of our teams are in prime time this week. Kurt and I, we have tomorrow, and then Eli and the Seahawks are on Monday night. But let's get into the picks. It is a big week for us. The bye weeks are done in the NFL. No more bye weeks for any team. All 32 teams are actually finally made it. We are both 1-0 on the week. We are one game apart right now in the standings. This is really going to come down to the wire. I am winning, though, on LSU, so that's good for me.
Well, I'm winning in picks, so that's all that matters to me.
Whatever, Eli. All right, let's start off with the first game.
Remember, we're still going to have those picks and come to the playoff times and
all right, we've got the Vikings.
I know that, but I'm just saying I have to throw that out there.
1 p.m. on NFL Network. The Bengals are the 3.5-point favorites. Nick Mullins is going to start for the Minnesota Vikings. So Josh Dobbs' Linsanity run is over. Sadly, I mean, it was a great run for those 2-3 weeks, but it's over now. Jake Browning looking pretty damn good there in Cincinnati. He's had back-to-back great games. Bengals starting to figure things out. This game is in Cincinnati. Eli, we'll go with you first. Who do you think is going to win this game?
Well, first off, to finish up my point, we still have the Super Bowl to pick, and we still have all the playoffs to pick, so I'm still winning, just to let you know. I don't care if I'm locked, survivor, and upset, still wrong. And there's still time to change. It's only week 15. We still have 4 more games left, 4 more weeks left. For Vikings, Bengals, and Minnesota's Cincinnati's favored by 3.5. So that means I'm going to take Cincinnati 16-3 as my final score. Despite the quarterback change, the Vikings just do not look like they have it. If they lost 3-0, if they won 3-0, but almost lost last week and barely even put up points in last week's game, I don't know how they can do it with this very good Cincinnati Bengals team. So give me the Bengals 16-3.
Well, after the Vikings exploded offensively from weeks 5 through weeks 10, they are now just 30 points scored in their last 3 games. I like the Bengals as well here at home, 28-18 over the Vikings. I think Jake Browning's just going to continue his good play. They've got a great team there in Cincinnati, underrated defense, a great coach in Zach Taylor. You still have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, and now Chase Brown, who looks like a pretty good young running back. So give me the Bengals in this one as they get a big win as they push for their AFC playoff hopes. Next game on the list, 4:30 p.m. on NFL. Also on NFL Network, we have a triple header on NFL Network this week. The Steelers on the road taking on the Indianapolis Colts. This game at Lucas Oil Stadium. The roof will be closed. Colts are 2.5-point favorites. Mitch Trubisky is expected to start again for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Should be a tight game. I know the Steelers have really struggled, but you can never count out Mike Tomlin, though. He's one of the best head coaches in the 21st century. The Colts, though, have been one of the Cinderella stories in the NFL this year. And, well, I'm going to take my Colts to win. I can't go against the Colts. 14-13 is the final. They have not beaten the Steelers since 2008, so hopefully they end that streak on Saturday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it's a big game for both. Both teams at 7-6, and whoever wins this game will have the tiebreaker over the other team. So, Eli?
Well, there's only one thing to do. Can't trust the Steelers. Colts wishy-washy. What do you got to do? You got to pick the Colts. So give me the Colts 26-23.
That's a bit of a high-scoring game, I think, for 2 really good defenses.
And
but
my reason is because the Colts always seem to only win by 3 points and always somehow keep these games close. So that is the reason why I have to give it by 26-23. And these 2 teams can put up big numbers when they can, and the opportunities are available.
Yeah, the Colts do have a lot of close wins this season, but we'll see what happens. Let's go to the final game of the Saturday, the nightcap of the Colts, right? Saturday tripleheader. Yes, I did. The Broncos on the road taking on the Detroit Lions. Both these teams kind of heading in opposite directions. The Lions have lost 2 out of their last 3. Really should be 3 of their last 4. The Broncos, meanwhile, have won 6 of their last 7. This game is in Detroit. It's going to be an awesome game. Detroit, the 4-point favorites. at home, but actually, I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos to win this game, 31-22. I think when you have a Hall of Fame coach in Sean Payton and a Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson, against the Detroit Lions team that's well fun. They are extremely inexperienced. I think the experience is going to play a factor in this game. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere, and I think the Broncos win this game by 9. And I think Cortland Sutton keeps his touchdown streak going.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, and Kurt, if you're watching still, you're going to be very happy. Give me the Broncos 28-20. Wow. That's how much I cannot trust the Detroit Lions anymore. So I have to take the Broncos 28-20. They look better nowadays. Lions, however, don't look like the team that we want them to be. I am for once taking the Broncos 28-20. I can't believe it.
All right, well, it's going to be a great Saturday window. A lot of huge playoff implications, specifically for the AFC and the NFC. Actually, for all 6 teams that are playing, big playoff implications. All right, let's head to the Sunday, the 17th. Those games, we have 7 games in the 1 o'clock window. First, we'll talk about an NFC South showdown between the Falcons and the Panthers. Falcons won the first of these meetings between the two. Obviously, these are the Panthers now with a interim coach in Chris Tabor. The Falcons are really the definition of a wishy-washy team, if we're being honest. The Falcons are the 3-point favorites. I mean, maybe Carolina somehow wins this game, but I got the Falcons winning this 25-10. I think Bijan is going to have a pretty big game, and I think the Falcons defense is going to do what they did to Carolina in week 1.
Well, I cannot pick the Panthers. So what are you going to do? Pick the Falcons, 22-18 in the final.
I mean, there's really not much to talk about this game. The Falcons are the 3-point favorites. Next up, Bears on the road taking on the Browns. 1 o'clock on Fox. The Bears starting to surge. They've won they've won 2 in a row. And they just upset the Detroit Lions last week. Bears really should be on a 3-game win streak right now, but actually it would be a 4-game win streak, excuse me.
Right.
But that's just how it is right now. So we'll see what happens. The Browns are a 3-point favorite. Joe Flacco is back to the active roster. He's going to be the starter the rest of the season. Browns have looked really strong all year, but actually give me, in an upset on the road, the Chicago Bears, the oldest team in the NFL. Give me the Bears on the road in the dog pound, 21-17. Give me Justin Fields has started to look better. The Bears defense just took care of one of the best offenses in the league, and they should have no problems against Joe Flacco. So give me the Chicago Bears in an upset. My upset of the week.
Give me John Fanta's Cleveland Browns. Final score, 24-21. The Browns look like the better team. I know the Bears played incredible these last few games, but I think the Browns are the key to success, and they're off to something special. So I'm going to take the Browns 24-21.
All 5 times the Bears have won this year, I've not picked them, so this might not be good. But I don't know. I feel like luck is on the Bears side this week. Next up, a big matchup in the NFC. Tampa Bay, the Battle of the Bays. Tampa Bay and Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Should be a cold one. The Packers, a 3-point favorite. Not really a great place for Baker Mayfield. The last time he was there, threw 4 interceptions and led the Browns to a loss on Christmas Day over the Packers in 2021. I say they have the same fate in this one. The Packers win a sloppy game, 23-14, and get back on the right track as they continue to push for the NFC wildcard picture.
Well, when you look at this game, you got to consider 2 things. The Buccaneers have been playing good against weak teams. The Packers, they should be winning against weak teams, but they're not. In this case here, this is not a great matchup, but I will say it could be a great matchup. So I'll take the Packers 22-16.
All right. Next up, Green Bay 3-point favorites, by the way. 1 o'clock on CBS. The Dolphins at home taking on the Jets. Miami is a favorite by 8.5. I think that's a little much. The Dolphins kind of got exposed last Monday night against Tennessee, and they're facing off against a very good Jets defense and a much improved Zach Wilson the way he played last week. Now, rain is scheduled in the forecast for this game, but I mean, Zach Wilson just played a really good game in the rain, so we'll see. But we also don't know if Tyreek Hill is going to play. Now, I still have the Dolphins winning this game, but only by 4. That might surprise some people. A 24-20 win for the Dolphins, and honestly, call me crazy. Do not be surprised if the Jets win this game.
You have it by 4. I have it by 5. Give me the Dolphins 32-20 and know the Jets are not winning
4.
it.
We both have 4.
No, is it 20?
30. What? It's 32 minus 28, Eli.
32 minus, that's 5. Wait, 28,
32
29,
minus
30,
28.
31, 30, 30, 31, 35.
20, 29, 30,
28,
31,
29.
32. You have 32 to
Oh,
28, Eli.
I keep adding a number. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Eli, you gotta know this, man. It's just, oh no.
I'm
All right,
tired, folks. I
all right.
really am tired. I'm really tired. So since I'm so tired, I'm gonna pick the Packers 23.
Oh no, I already saw that.
You
I'm
already said that
sorry.
comment. Okay, we're taking the Dolphins 32-28. We're
Okay,
not taking the
I'm
Jets.
sorry.
They
Sorry for the
stink.
confusion,
Sorry.
Eli. Apparently, the difference between 32 and 28 is 5. I just learned that. Okay, 1 o'clock on Fox. The Saints a
I'm so
6-point favorite at
tired.
home against the Tommy DeVito led New York Giants. Should be an
I'm so
interesting
tired.
game. Tommy Cutlets, the Giants are on a 3-game winning streak right now. And if they wouldn't have blown that game against the Jets, they would be in a playoff spot right now. This game is in New Orleans, but I don't
Everybody
care.
says it
Give
is.
me the New York Football Giants to beat the Saints on the road 21-18. Tommy DeVito is for real. Brian Dable is a great head coach. The Giants defense really been underrated these past couple weeks, and the Saints are a mess. So give me the Giants to win this game. So maybe a surprise some people, but I feel like a lot of people are actually going to go with the Giants to win this
Every
game.
Giants fan right now is like, oh, they're going to make the playoffs. So, how many teams I think I mean? The Giants are going to make the playoffs. Giants are making the playoffs. No, they're not making the playoffs. They're losing this week to the New Orleans Saints. They're losing the final score 23-22. They're losing to the New Orleans Saints. They got lucky versus the Packers by a field goal kick. If the weather was bad, they would not make that field goal kick. So, that is why I'm taking the New Orleans Saints over the New York Football Giants. And I don't care if Tommy DeVito's agent is in the Italian Sports Hall of Fame. That does not matter. And by the way, he was on the Pat McAfee show today.
You know, maybe I would pick the Saints if Derek Carr would stop yelling at his receivers and take
That's
responsibility for his mishaps. What a waste of money that was. But anyways, next game, we got 2 more games here in the 1 o'clock window. Looks like the CJ Stroudless Houston Texans on the road against the Tennessee Titans.
No.
Eli, it looks like the Titans might start to do some things. They just won their first road game of the season against the Dolphins. CJ Stroud is not going to play. Does that change who you're going to pick? Who are you going to pick in this one?
No. That's why I'm going to take the Texans. I believe even though it's CJ Stroud out, they had time to work with it, and he'll be back. They want to make sure they're in for the playoffs. They want to make sure they stay determined and strong, and that is why I'm still going to take the Texans 30-18. I know it's a high-score game. I did not change my pick from last week, but that is my final 30-18.
Wow, I can't believe you think Davis Mills is going to beat Tennessee by 2 scores, but we'll see if that happens. I think it differently. I have Tennessee now winning this game by 13 points, 26-13. You know, the way they played last week in Miami, that's one of the top teams in the AFC. And now they're playing a team with a backup quarterback and a team that just got blown out by the Jets and Zach Wilson. So I think Will Levis is going to continue a strong play. And Tennessee, who has a very good home record this year, as we know, is going to take care of business over the Houston Texans and at least maybe have some hope in the playoff standings. So they don't really have much at this point, but we'll see what happens. But not having CJ Stroud is a huge concern. That's pretty much their whole team. And Tank Dell and Nico Collins also both might not play. So that's pretty much their whole offense that they're not going to have. Last game in the 1 o'clock window, Chiefs Patriots. This was a game that was supposed to be Monday night this week. It's flexed out.
They fixed it.
Back to 1 o'clock. Chiefs are a 9.5-point favorite on the road. And yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs to win this game 32-17. I don't believe the Chiefs have ever lost 3 games in a row under Patrick Mahomes. So there's no way it's going to happen to the Patriots. Come on now. But Eli, who are you going with here?
None other than, how about those Chiefs? 22-18. And by the way, Taylor Swift should be at the game, I think.
Oh, great.
So if she is, they should win. If she's not at the game, then they lose. And if they lose to the Patriots, I think someone has to be fired from Kansas City. So that is why I'm going to take the Chiefs 22-18.
All right, fair enough. I believe the Chiefs have now lost two straight. Yeah, two. Yeah, they've lost 3 of their last 4 now. So certainly concerning stuff there in KC. All right, 49er to the 4 o'clock window. 49ers, Cardinals, 4:05 on CBS. San Francisco, a 13.5-point favorite. The Niners can clinch the NFC West with a win in this game or a Rams loss. But it's the Cardinals. the 49ers will win the NFC West this weekend with a 38-13 win over the Cardinals, and that is also my survivor pick for Week 15. I stumbled a little bit last week with the Texans pick, but I'm gonna bounce back this week. Give me the Niners for my survivor and a 25-point win over the Cardinals.
I know I don't want the 49ers to win, but they are winning, and that's why they're gonna beat the Cardinals 32-8, and that is my lock of the week.
Wow. Okay. Next up, Rams Commanders 4:05 on CBS. Funny that we have two NFC matchups on CBS in the same time slot. That's so incredibly strange. But the Rams a 6.5-point favorite. Surprised it's not more. They are playing very well right now. I have the Rams winning this game very easily, 41-14. This Commanders defense can't stop a nosebleed. You really think they're going to stop Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua, and Tyler Higbee? No. The answer is they're not. And that's why the Rams come up with a big win at home in Week 15. Eli, that is also my lock of the week.
For my survivor pick of the week, give me the Rams 24-12.
So we're flip-flopped in these two games. I have survivor.
And that's because I had survivor already last week for the 49ers, or a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, a big game, a national TV game. This game will be broadcast across all of the United States. 4:25 on Fox. A big-time matchup between the Cowboys and the Bills.
Watch this game not be as important and popular as we think.
Yeah. Well, Eli will not be at this game, though. He'll be at the Devils game on Sunday night.
Yes, so it looks like I'm not missing much.
But who do you think's going to win this game? This is a big, big matchup in the NFL in Week 15.
It's going to be raining dollar bills there. Give me the Bills 28-26. And just so happens, if by any chance, if you lost a bull, it was in Newark, Penn Station yesterday. It is now in an animal sanctuary. So if you lost the bulls at Newark, Penn Station yesterday, and that includes the Red Bulls, Buffalo Bills, anybody that owns the Buffalo Bills.
Hopefully that bull makes it back to Buffalo in time for the game. All right.
I think it was a bull.
The Bills are talented and they are desperate right now. And that is a dangerous combo. The Cowboys are not nearly as desperate as the Bills are. The Bills are hanging on to their playoff hopes by a thread, which means that they are going to win this game in front of their fans 27-24, a close one, but Buffalo takes it. Buffalo is a 2-point favorite, so we'll see what happens. All right, Sunday night football, Ravens, Jaguars, 8:20 on NBC. This game is in Duval County. Jacksonville now 2 primetime games in the last 3 weeks. How about those Jags getting some primetime games? Trevor Lawrence is still not 100%. And that's going to lead to a Ravens win for me. I have a 30-14 win for Baltimore. I still think Lamar Jackson can win the MVP. It might be a long shot, but with Tyreek Hill injured and with Christian McCaffrey maybe not playing as well as he had earlier in the season, I think maybe Lamar Jackson can sneak up and win his second MVP. So give me the Ravens to dominate on Sunday night over the Jaguars. Eli?
Ravens 34-24. They're beating the Jaguars.
35-24 you have.
35-24. 35-24. Thank you. I do not have huge hope in the Jaguars, so I'm taking the Ravens.
All right, one more game to go. Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ESPN and ABC, IBC. Yep, and ESPN Plus. Seattle and Philadelphia. The Seahawks have now lost 5 of their last 6 games and are at 6-7, hanging on to their playoff hopes. Philly has lost 2 in a row. This is a big game for both teams. I don't really know what's going to happen, but sorry, Eli. I have the Eagles winning this 34-23. The Seahawks defense is just so bad, and the offense is so inconsistent. You can boo all you want, Eli. You just boo him because the Colts have a better record than the Seahawks now. But
I gotta stop picking the Colts.
What's your pick, Eli?
For my upset of the week, upset pick of the week, the Seattle Seahawks. 24-20. We are winning on prime time in front of everybody. ABC and ESPN. You won't even know. It's gonna be a fun night. So they're gonna beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They're not gonna be in victory lane anymore, as the Seattle Seahawks will soar past the Eagles in a 24-20 victory. For my upset pick of the week, go Seahawks.
Go Colts. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching the NFL.
Good night.
The NFL, the playoff hunt is coming down to the wire here. Join us tomorrow morning for the St. Mary girls basketball game against Harrison. Varsity at 10 o'clock. Hang on, Eli. Yeah, at 8:20. Varsity at 10 o'clock. JV at 11:30. The next boys basketball game Tuesday night against Wallington. Lots of fun action coming up. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
Sports with
Jack,
Mano. Join me tomorrow at 8 in the morning live on Surge Sports and the Sports with Mano YouTube channel. Please join.
Jack and Eli signing off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Go Colts and go New York Rangers, who play right now against the Anaheim Ducks.
Good night.